arrested all the time.
Getting in trouble for doing, I remember at a store we used to hang out, like this. And the cop went past, we used to holler, "Watch out!" And the cop would stop and say, and across the street they were doing some construction on pipes, and there was a hole. And I said, "I wasn't hollering at you, I was hollering at my friend who was running down the street. I didn't want him to fall in the hole." They said, "Where is he?" I said, "He fell in the hole." Make it up. So next thing you know, I was in jail. My dad beat the shit out of me so many times, but he was still my hero. I became a firefighter. I put 26 years in the Philadelphia Fire Department. I bought my 4 years Navy time back, retired with a 30-year pension. So I've been retired 38 years. The Philadelphia Fire Department's given me over $1 million in pension.
Nice.
Don't ask me where it is, but if you add it up, it's what it comes
A lot of gas for the bike.
Yeah, well, I sold my bike years ago. Like I say, I'm 85 years old now. I don't want to be riding. Not so much the ride bothers me.
Unknown caller.
Hitting the fucking deer. Don't worry about it. I'm not going to answer it probably. That's just my son. Yeah, Rome, Pennsylvania. I don't even know where that is. But anyway, when I was 16 years old, I always went to Catholic school. Well, when I got into 9th grade, they closed the high school down and they were going to move us to Roman Catholic High School in Center City, which meant I had to take at least 2 buses to get to school. And I talked to my parents. I was very close with my parents. I talked to them. I said, "Dad, I don't want to travel halfway across the city to go to school every day. It's an hour going, an hour back." I said, "So I'd like to go to public school, which is right up the road." Plus my girlfriend who lived across the street went there. And they both agreed, "Yeah, all right, you can go to public." So I dropped out of Catholic school and I went to public school. And then when I got to public school, they were 5-6 years behind us. I knew more than the freaking teacher did. I said, Catholic school really gave us an education.
I can tell.
Yeah. And the thing is, in public school, I this is totally boring, So I told my parents, I'm going to drop out of school. I said, I'll finish later, and I did. I have my PhD, but.
What's your PhD in?
In life, actually.
Yeah.
I tell people I didn't get my PhD in a classroom. I got my PhD out on the road. But anyway.
That doesn't surprise me.
Well, my son has his PhD in forestry restoration science, and he really does. I mean, he got his bachelor's degree in biology, which is tough. Mm-hmm. Got his master's degree in wildlife ecology because I think luckily I taught him to love animals, So wildlife ecology. Then he got his PhD in forestry resources science, which means he's a doctor of forestry is what I call him. But I'm the only one that's allowed to call him doctor. He said he doesn't use it. He doesn't even work at it. He works for his wife, and they're I forget what they do. What is it when you read books and you write an article about them?
They're critics.
Yeah, but it's a different thing, and he's making good money with her. They've been married about 5 years now.
So if once you write a book, they can write positive reviews about yours.
Yeah, right, yeah. But anyway, next thing you know, I'm 16 years old. I stuck my thumb out. I hitchhiked to Wildwood, New Jersey to work for the summer on the boardwalk. The reason Wildwood, because every summer we rented a place I remember on Burke Avenue in Wildwood. So the woman gave me a room, for a good price, and I was going to stay there. So I was down there about a week, and I met these 2 guys, dishonorable dischargees from the Army. Mm-hmm. I didn't know any better. I was only 16, but I could drive. And even though I didn't have a car at the time, well, I think I did, but it was like a 49 Chevy, and I left that home. But these guys, I turned out to be friends with these 2 guys, and here one guy was going to marry this girl, 22 years old with 2 kids. But neither of them, they both got kicked out of the Army, but neither one of them could drive. She had a car. She had a 57 Nash Rambler. I don't know if you're too young to know it, but that was the car. The seats went down. The whole inside the car became a big bed, and that was pretty neat. So anyway, they wanted me to drive them to Maryland so they could get married. So she drove. It was her car, and I could drive. Her name was Helen Cockey, Cocci. She was 22. I was 16. So I drove them down to Maryland, and in Maryland they laughed them out. The justice of peace just laughed them out. They didn't have any paperwork or anything like that. They said, "Yeah, I can't marry you." Laughed them out. So anyway, from there we went to St. Louis, Missouri, to this guy's brother's house. We were only there 2 nights when I forget what happened, but anyway, the girl. It was funny. I'm 16 years old and driving this girl's car, and she's in the back seat screwing this other guy, who she wanted to marry.
You too, hon.
Anyway, one night she went out. She had 2 kids, and we went out for nipples, believe it or not. And next thing you know, I'm screwing her, and the cops catch us, and we're actually in the junkyard in St. Louis, Missouri. Kansas City, Missouri. Because it's Kansas City, Kansas, and Kansas City, Missouri.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, they followed us back to the house. And just as we turned, he was coming out and saying the other guy. Anyway, next thing you know, I ended up living with her in Johnson, Kansas. I was cutting, 16 years old, cutting wheat in Johnson, Kansas, driving a big truck. They would throw the wheat in the back of the truck, and then I would drive back to the barn and dump it in the barn, sticking fucking grass over the big grasshoppers were in your mouth and everything. And I was living with a 22-year-old woman. She was beautiful too. I'm living with a 22-year-old woman.
Cokie.
Cokie, yeah, Helen Cokie. I just Googled her about 2 weeks ago, and here she died a few years ago.
Was she happily married and all that stuff?
No, she was divorced. And then
happily divorced.
Happily divorced, and then like I say, and I saw her a couple times after we got back from out west. But I remember I was living in a motel with a 22-year-old woman who was very beautiful, and all the guys there, they just couldn't believe this 16-year-old kid from Philadelphia is cutting wheat in Kansas and living with a 22-year-old woman. And they were all in their 20s. I was 16, and I was their hero. You know what I mean? They treated me so good. I remember they even gave me a hat. My hair was so long, they gave me a hat so I could just brush my hair back and put the hat over one of them old Jeffs, Yeah, they treated me good. So I had a really interesting life. I really did.
Do you write already? Do you write?
No, I want to, but
you might not need to write. You might just be able to orate.
Well, the hardest thing to do about writing is sitting down and writing.
Yeah.
So what I'd like to do is get a transcriber.
Yeah.
So when you talk into it prints it right out.
Yeah, And then you can go back and tighten it up.
Because I got a fantastic life story to tell, but
Well, you live around here, right?
Well, I live in Mansfield now. Yeah, I'm
All
retired Philadelphia.
What are you doing on Friday or Saturday?
What are you thinking
Do
about?
you want to put a camera in front of you, put a mic on, and you can just talk as long as you want? I don't care where you start.
That would be great, but even then, I'd like to have it in order.
That'll be the start. So your homework before then is to just start thinking about chapters.
Well, it's been in my mind ever since I was 16. What I mean? But that's how I want to start with.
But you already start. A great opening line is like, I have a PhD, and then later on you go, I have a PhD in life.
My PhD is in life. That's what I tell my son. I said, look, don't you ever think you're smarter than me? So I don't care if you have a PhD or not. I said, believe me. I said, I put 433,000 miles on my last Harley, and I learn everything. I'm the type that when I go somewhere, I pay attention to what's going on, and I absorb it, and I try to learn it, and and all that stuff is still in me. You know what I mean? I'm not bragging. I mean, that's just the way I am. But
I'd love to hear your story.
Oh,
And I think you guys should get together for breakfast and start out on breakfast. Just chill. Keep
what
it
is your
chill.
name again?
Isaac.
Isaac, my pleasure. It's
Yes,
SAAC.
Yeah.
I got it. Yeah.
Mansfield's up to 15 here.
Yeah, that's
I'm
fine.
up. Yeah, it's 45 miles, roughly 45 miles from here. I come here every Monday. I've been coming here every Monday for 25 years.
Wow.
Yeah. I used to come here when it was Coex.
So do we. I miss it. I miss seeing Mary with the red hair, getting the candy here, and then the bar over here.
Well, so I used to sit back at the counter back there with the 3 stools that are up on the wall back here now, which I think they should have put out here.
I agree.
Catherine Hepburn
Yeah,
sat here.
and they had summer places around here. You know what I mean? People don't even know that. Even the people who live here don't know.
Do you know who else has a to keep it modern? Chris Brown. He's a pretty popular singer. He has a place out here.
Oh, does he? Yeah. You know who has a place up on Route 14? Trying to think. If you're going up Route 14 towards Canton, on the left-hand side, just before, because I know the place because you make a right and went up the mountain to my brother's hunting camp. We used to hunt deer. I hunt deer in Pennsylvania. I got 8 deer 8 years in a row, and I just said, this is too easy. and the last, what happened, the last deer, it was so freaking cold out.
Oh, yeah.
I shot the deer. I remember everybody was following these tracks, and I was telling them, I said, I was with about 8 other guys, and they were going this way. I said, wait a minute. I said, they're turkey tracks. That's not deer, they're turkey. Oh, no, they're deer. I said, well, so I'm going this way. I went this way. An hour later, I shot a deer. It was probably 20 degrees. So I went up, I dropped it. It was a nice big buck. I went up, I put my knife in, opened them up. First thing I did, took my gloves off and put my hands in and warmed my hands off. And then I thought, I can't believe I'm doing this. It really upset me. But I mean, I didn't kill him for that.
Yeah.
But since I had this deer and his blood was warm, I actually warmed my hand and I said, that's it. And I quit hunting. I haven't hunted since then.
I'll be darned.
I stopped. I hunt with my camera. I hunt grizzly bears now. I hunt.
You're brave. You carry your back up?
Huh?
You carry your back
No,
up?
no. I have a pistol in my car, but it's been buried. If you see my car out here, the passenger seat is filled up to the window with magazines. You know, I'm a big reader. I read all kinds of magazines and stuff. You know, I do two crosswords, 2 cryptograms every day to keep my mind in gear.
Yeah.
And I have a 22 semi-automatic pistol in my car.
That wouldn't help you with a grizzly. Maybe
Well,
you put yourself out of misery, right?
no, yeah. But
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
So you don't
that-
get scalped.
But I can remember I was siding behind. At the time, I had a. But I
Can
had
you
my
see how the mind
99
works?
Harley.
It
I
goes
think I
from-
might have had the one before. It was an '86 Harley Softail, and I was behind the bike, and there was this grizzly walking by. Had to be 1,000, 1,200 pounds, and I'm taking pictures, click, and you know what I kept thinking? I hope he's not hungry. click. I got some, and I had some beautiful pictures of the bears in Yellowstone. But I want to do something with them. I'd like to write some kind of book like this or something with my pictures and each one explaining stuff. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But like I say, the thing running away from home with my parents, I didn't actually run away. My parents gave me permission to go down to Wildwood and work. But who was to know I was going to end up a month later in Johnson, Kansas, living with a 22-year-old girl, 16 years old.
So
And all the guys thought I was their hero.
it's Mike. What? What's your last name?
Don't strain yourself.
Don't strain. Mike Strain.
Strain.
I'm straining to keep up.
Well, the thing is, I tell people, look, people say that when I was in grade school, hey, don't strain yourself. And I say, oh, let me write that down. I never heard it before, but I hear it all the time.
Yeah. So again, this thing. I mean, you've been telling the story. I knew from right away when you started talking about custard. I'm like, oh, this guy has.
He even said that he's the kind of guy that's involved reading, but he hears everything.
Yeah,
that's going on.
you were hearing everything we said over there, right?
Not really, no. But,
No?
but
Been able to pick
Maybe
up on stuff.
you're because you cued in on 3 things we said like right away.
Oh, okay.
Like when he talked about ticket scalping, you go, oh yeah, scalping has
Oh,
a thing.
that's
Yeah.
true. That's where it came from. It
Yeah.
came from the Indians scalping
Yeah.
people, because it's a bad thing, and scalp them is a bad thing.
Yeah.
I mean, and they don't know for sure that Custer killed himself,
Thank you.
but it seems like they're 99% sure he did because the bullet was right in his temple.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You said your brother did as well, though, right?
What's that?
You said your brother did as well. I heard you mention your brother.
What's that?
Didn't you say your brother killed himself or no?
Oh yeah, my oldest brother,
Yeah.
and that shocked me. He committed to it. He put a gun up his head about, I'm going to say 6 months ago, and that really shocked me because he was always a tough guy. He worked for the Reading Railroad. He was a brakeman on the railroad for 40 years.
Wow.
That's a tough job.
Is it?
You're out there on the trains, on the thing, unhooking the truck. When the train backed in, you had to unhook them and hook the new ones up and pull them out.
That 40% of people died.
And then all of a sudden, he found out he got. I forget what he got. What's Lou Gehrig's disease?
Oh, okay. Yeah.
What's it called?
I
You
thought
fall
it was
apart.
called Lou Gehrig's, but I'm
Yeah,
not
but
sure.
there's a name for
Okay.
it. But he found that he got that, and the next thing you know,
Is it MS? It's not MS, is it?
Huh?
Is it MS?
I don't know, but no,
Multiple
it's not.
sclerosis?
No,
No.
it's not moose. Well, here, let's find out. Just Google it, right?
You need to make arrangements.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I'm gonna get his number. Mike Strand, I want to get your
What
number
is
before I
Lou
leave.
Gehrig's disease? Lateral sclerosis. I can't pronounce it.
This is a raw docu.
Progressive fatal